last week we got hit with some news. Russell Westbrook decides to call it quits after 18 seasons. Phenomenal career. There was reports that the Washington Wizards and the Sacramento Kings offered him a contract, but he decided to retire on his own terms. So, fellas, what was your initial reactions? What are your thoughts about Russell Westbrook retiring? Yeah, feel free to chime in.
Not gonna lie, it was a shock. I knew it. We all knew it was coming to an end. Once you start signing on minimum deals, it's like okay.
You know what it is?
It's
It's not
coming.
even just the minimums. It's the minimums at these certain places.
Yeah.
Like if you sign a minimum in like Sacramento.
But here's the thing. He already said, I want to be on the West Coast near my
No,
family.
yeah, but like
So it was like,
I get it. I'm just saying it's like when you see Patrick Ewing in a Magic jersey, it's like, oh, man, this is bad, bro.
yeah.
You know? T-Mac in the Knicks jersey, like what?
He played for that team?
It just
For that team?
it hits a little different when it's like actually happened. Like you know what's coming, but it's just like wow,
Yeah,
he really retired.
Yeah.
And that's something that like we spoke about it before we went live. I remember the conversation that we had before we went live on our last episode about the top, what was it, the top 50, the best dunkers of all time. Tune into that video if you haven't done so already. But we were just talking about Russ and just how long he's been in the game. And you look around and like, yo, there's a bunch of dudes who's creeping up on 20 years in the league. So
It's like regular now.
it's regular now, right? So I mean, it's unfortunate that it had to happen that way, but I just want to bring up a video that I watched the other day, and shout out to Dom2K, always doing great work. He posted a video about Russell Westbrook literally the day before he retired. So like that was even a thing about all 30 teams and what they look like, what is their mission, what are their goals, and how do Russell Westbrook fits on a basketball team. And he separated them in tiers. Obviously, you have your contending team. So you have your Knicks, your Sixers, you have your Spurs, Thunder. That doesn't really have a place for Russell Westbrook. And then you have those teams that's like in the middle of the pack. Lakers, Cavs, Pistons to a certain extent. That's like, all right, well, Lakers obviously don't want to do the whole Russ experiment again. But can these other teams find benefit in having Russell Westbrook on a team? That was a no. And then you have the lottery teams, the teams that's trying to rebuild, teams like the Sacramento Kings, the Pelicans, who only signed DeAndre Jordan this offseason. That was like their main move and stuff. Do you find a place for Russell Westbrook on that team? And the answer is no. Once you start Xing out all of those teams, it's like, damn, Russ can't really find a home. So I do remember seeing a report about maybe like a couple weeks ago that the Kings were interested in re-signing Russell Westbrook for the development of Darius Acuff Jr. And I wasn't opposed to that. I'm like, you know what? Like nothing's really going for Russ right now. Why not? But he just decided to call it a quit. So, like I said, phenomenal career.
The Wizards too actually reached out to him.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to play there.
Yeah. So and it's interesting because if you go look at his last post-game interview or was it his exit interview, I can't remember what it was, but he was still saying like he got more in the tank. And I believe Russ still has more in the tank. Like in terms of somebody who never lost a beat, somebody who gave it his all on the court, somebody who never took plays off. Like you could count on Russ for that. And I know we gave Russ a lot of shit, especially when he was in LA. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, now everybody want to show Russ his flowers and stuff like that, because me and Ernest was tough on Russ. Look at the shit he was doing. Shooting side of the backboard, all types of stuff.
It was tough to see him like that, but also like the roster I was of the mindset, yeah, Russ was bad, absolutely, but so was everyone else. You know what I mean? Like it was an unfortunate time. The salary he was making obviously hindered, and it's not just him. Like, so I don't want to make it about just Russ was the only person that messed up the whole, season that 2022, 2023 season, 2021.
Yeah, because he left in 2023.
Yeah. So like, I'm not saying it's all his fault yet, but he was a big contribution to it, and it sucked. It sucked watching him like that. The team wasn't good as well. The whole operation was just a failure, and it sucked. But it was unfair for him to take the brunt of that though, because it wasn't all him. It really wasn't.
We was asking him to play out of the role. You had LeBron and AD, especially AD, who was in and out of the lineup. You know what I mean? So You're asking Russ to hit corner shots, hit corner threes and stuff, and be Russ when you have another ball dominant dude on the floor in LeBron James, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, phenomenal career. This dude averaged a triple-double in 4 different seasons, MVP in 2017.
For 2 different teams.
For 2 different teams. Like, in my opinion, he's probably maybe top three most exciting players I ever watched. Like, the stuff I watch this guy do is just insane. And like I mentioned earlier, like the motor never died. You know, like I watch AI leave it all out there on the court, pause. But for Russ, like that dude came to play every single night, no matter
You
what.
know, what's crazy is I remember watching 2012 playoffs.
Yep. I feel like I know you're going with this, but go ahead.
And I was just like, yo, like as a Laker fan,
He ain't
because obviously they knocked us out. And it was like, I was like, yo, this is it. Like, because I legit felt like, yo, if Kobe don't get a better roster around him, there's no way we have no one to guard that guy.
Nope.
Like, KD's KD, but like Russ was the engine, and it was just the playoffs was just like the amount of times I see Kobe just it was just like, yo, damn.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean, and we could go into like favorite Russell Westbrook moments, and that was the perfect lob to what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
you mentioned it, 2012 playoffs. As much as I hated it,
that and one he did.
Yeah.
I was your bro,
and that's the play right there. He caught the steal. You just see Kobe like this. Ramon Sessions, who we traded Derek Fisher for to be our point guard, to have a younger point guard. Yeah. We traded for Ramon Sessions.
Yeah,
he tried to intentionally foul him. Russ throws the ball in the air, running the other way on the court, and won. I'm yo.
I've never, and like, don't get me wrong, like Chesapeake Arena at that time was like,
my goodness.
Yeah. I was like, this is one of the best home crowds in the NBA. Like, you know what I mean? Seeing that just like I knew then, because I was what game was that? 3?
Either 3 or 4, and I think they pulled a comeback. We was beating them.
I honestly, we might have been up 3-2 or 2-1, something like that.
I don't think we ever led in that series, but
we were leading in the game.
We was leading in the game. Because remember, we only took 1 game from them, and that was because Andrew Bynum had like 30 rebounds and shit like that.
Yeah.
So some shit like that.
And I remember, like, after that moment, I said, yeah, we're not beating this.
Not beating them.
We're just not.
Not beating them. Not beating them.
I conceded then, and I usually don't. And I'm just like, yeah, there's no way. My favorite Russ moment was the 2020-21 game. You know, 20 points, 20 rebounds.
2020-21 for Nip.
20 for Nip.
And he did it against us.
Yeah, he got another.
Did it against us.
You know, you're muted, Josh.
Yeah, I thought they come on mic again. I said sometimes Destiny just crazy, isn't that wild? Nip from LA, and he do that.
Yeah, that was. I couldn't even be mad at. I was mad, but I couldn't be mad because I'm like, how you let him get 20? That was bad.
That was some
really
Will Chamberlain shit, man.
Yeah, you know, that was my favorite moment from Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Another moment too, where it's like I can't get out of my head, is when he broke the triple-double record at Denver and hit the game winner for them to clinch to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That and he milli rocked when he hit the game winner.
Yeah,
you know, like that. I mean, Russ, man, listen.
Yeah.
The most athletic point guard, I think, in NBA history, to me. I mean, Derrick Rose, you can say it. That's a great argument. I wouldn't be mad if you chose him either. But Russ, to me, man, I think, you know, to me, top 5 greatest point guards of all time.
Yeah, I agreed. Eric, what's your favorite Russ moment?
Russ moment, man. I think it was that 2012 series against the Spurs when he led them to the finals for the first time. That's one. I think it was the first meeting when KD and Russ went at each other. That was another one.
I'm here.
Yeah, that was the first meeting when after KD signed with the Warriors.
Because the score, they was down by like 20.
Yeah. And he was like Russ was like guarding KD and Steph full court at the same time. Like, what?
Yeah. Like, Russ was on. He was outside then.
Yeah. You know the funny thing about that clip is, like, NBA they reposted it and it was like, oh snap, that's Enes Kanter. And if you know what's going on with Enes Kanter,
yeah.
And Josh, What's your favorite Russ moment, man?
I just want to say, even though it was a crazy season, and he shouldn't have got MVP that year, that whole year, just Russ on flaming the whole league. This guy left me. As soon as he left, didn't he put out that video? This
That
what
commercial.
Yep.
Now
I
I
do
know
what
what
I
I
want.
want.
Nah, I know what
Now
I
I
want.
know what I
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
So from that and then the whole season, he was just on 1,000. I
Yeah.
think that's my favorite
Mhm.
moment. Because even though you're like, they're not gonna win, it was still crazy to watch this 6'3" guy just go out there. Some games it was nasty, but he was just going out there with pure will,
Mm-hmm.
getting boards, assists, scoring that way, carrying that team.
Bro, he had Steven Adams averaging 13 and 7.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Shout out to Russ, man.
Yeah, I think, and I'm gonna say this last thing because I was talking to my coworker about this. This announcement, this retirement announcement, kind of hit me a little harder than D Rose. I would even
Because he
say,
was with you longer. Westbrook was with you longer. That's why it hit different.
what
Like
I
he was
mean,
great for
as a
longer. He was great.
like as a
Like, you
Laker or
actually-
just period.
You actually seen him grow as a
Yeah,
player.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Like,
that-
like Rose, it was cut short, so it was like, okay.
Like Russ, we've seen him since he was at UCLA.
Right, exactly. Like this,
Yeah.
I was just like damn, because like it was more from like what I said earlier. Like I still feel like he can play. It's not like, he got hurt, he got banged up, like he's hanging up the wheels. Like he can still produce. Like not obviously not as a high level as he once did, but some random game in January, Russ could give you a TD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's good for that. And actually he won me some money too. So shout out to you, Russ. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute to Russ,
Well,
man.
Yeah, so salute to Russ, man. What a wonderful career. First ballot Hall of Famer, no question. Impacted the game in ways we haven't seen in NBA history. So he's a different breed.
He got
First in
over
points,
200
first in
triple doubles.
first in points, first in rebounds, fourth in assists, first in triple doubles for now.
Let's just say he's
Yeah,
gonna be 2 by November.
I hate that guy, bro. He
I mean,
ruins
yeah,
everything.